We are all familiar with the account of creation in the Bible. This story also introduces us to Adam and Eve, the first people on God's new creation on earth. But did you know there is one overlooked verse that suggests that Eve was Adam's second wife? Before we begin, we would like to say thank you for the support you show us. Kindly subscribe to our channel and like the video. In the book of Genesis, two accounts of the creation of man and woman can be found. These two accounts are often referred to as the first and second creation stories. In the first account, God creates man and woman simultaneously on the sixth day of creation. The passage reads, "Then God said, 'Let us make man in our image, in our likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, over the livestock, over all the earth, and over all the creatures that move along the ground.' So God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. God blessed them and said to them, 'Be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds of the air, and over every living creature that moves on the ground.'" In the second account, God creates man first and then creates woman from one of the man's ribs. The passage reads, "The Lord God formed the man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Then the Lord God said, 'It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper suitable for him.' So the Lord God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep. And while he was sleeping, he took one of the man's ribs and closed up the place with flesh. Then the Lord God made a woman from the rib he had taken out of the man, and he brought her to the man. The man said, 'This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, for she was taken out of man.'" According to mythology, the woman created with Adam on the first account was not Eve but known as Lilith. She was created from the same dust and in the same way as Adam, and was his equal. The story goes on to say, Adam, having dominion over everything in creation, told Lilith that she should submit. But Lilith did not submit to her husband's commands because she thought she was equal to him, and did not accept Adam's domination. This rebellion put her in a situation where she was forced to choose between submitting to her husband or leaving the Garden of Eden. Since she was not willing to give up her independence, she opted to leave Adam and the Garden of Eden. As she left the garden, she said aloud the name of God, which was forbidden. This was seen as an act of defiance, as she wouldn't even submit to God himself. Instantly she obtained wings and flew into the air to exile and settled herself near the Red Sea. God sent angels in an attempt to convince Lilith to return to the Garden of Eden. Upon meeting her, the angels found Lilith copulating with demons. They asked her to return to the garden, but she refused the offer. God decided to punish her by killing her demonic offspring every day. She would steal the seed of men while they were sleeping and create more of her own demon children. This is how she became the mother of demons. The second account comes in when Adam was left alone in the Garden of Eden, and so God decided to create a second wife for him. This time God would create woman from the rib of man, so that she would be derivative and submissive. And this was the creation of Eve. The story comes together when Lilith became jealous of the happy life Adam and Eve led in paradise, and in an act of revenge she assumed the shape of a serpent and tricked Eve, forcing her and eventually Adam to taste the forbidden fruit, which led the couple to be expelled from paradise. While others see this as an act of revenge, some see it as an act of enlightenment towards Eve. Lilith was trying to get Eve to eat from the tree in order to liberate her from the power that had forced her into submission. In later Jewish tradition, Lilith was portrayed as a dangerous figure who preyed on infants and pregnant women. and as such she was often invoked in magical incantations and amulets to protect against her influence. The idea of Lilith as a demonic seductress continued to be popular in literature and art throughout the medieval period and beyond. Today, Lilith continues to be an important figure in feminist and occult circles, where she is sometimes seen as a symbol of female empowerment and rebellion. Let us know what you've heard about Lilith in the comments down below.